the Alexandria Mardi Gras Association's Children's Parade rolled through the streets of downtown Alexandria. The parade traveled through Murray Street and 5th Street, across Jackson Street, down to 3rd Street, and ending at St. James Street by the Red River. Hundreds lined the streets to catch throws and see live bands and dance groups from local schools and colleges perform. Whether it's rain or shine, parade goers did not stop letting the good times roll.
We were just talking about how we're not the biggest city, but we have a good set of floats.
Yeah,
yes.
It's fun.
And the kids are awesome. Everybody's really respectful, which we really appreciate, especially with a lot of kids. Like, we brought my little brother, and you know, sometimes bigger cities have adults that don't consider the little kids, but it is a very family-friendly parade, and we love it. We love Alexandria. We love Central Louisiana.
Yeah.
The parade gave kids the opportunity to enjoy a family-friendly parade here in Sinla.